Hey, what's up, guys? You might be a control freak and you might not even know it.
Bounce.
So, this is something that is very common when I meet with business owners and CEOs, entrepreneurs. They are control freaks and they have a really hard time handing things off or trusting people with their work or hiring people to help them with their workload. Not only are they control freaks, they're also complaining about that they never have time to do anything, but yet they are having trouble letting the job go. Now, it takes one to know one, and you'll know the topics you'll learn really quick that the topics that I bring up in my videos are things that I've gone through. So I've been there, and I feel like I still kind of like bad habits try to creep up sometimes, and I still try to be a little bit controlling. But the reality is that no one gets into being their own boss to do all the work in their business by themselves for the rest of their life. Like, it's not sustainable if you are thinking that. If you're thinking, like, you know what, I'm going to own my business so I can run my business by myself for the rest of my life. Just understand it's not going to be sustainable. At some point, you're going to need help, whatever it is. At some point, you're going to need help, especially if you're trading time for money. Like, who's going to cover you when you get old? you know, it's not sustainable. And I think it's important to sometimes like bring yourself back and reground yourself and remind yourself that you didn't get into business to do everything in your business by yourself for the rest of your life. Now, this is something that I feel holds a lot of businesses owners back from scaling their business. I understand a lot of the reason is they're afraid that maybe whoever they hire isn't going to be able to do a good of a job as they do. I often hear, I don't trust anyone. That's a very common one. I don't trust anyone with my business. So here's my thing is I would say trust everyone until they show you that you can't trust them. I always like to say that the words I live by is I trust everyone, but I always trust myself more to know when to like draw the line or draw the boundary or have that hard conversation of like, hey, this isn't going to work. So always trust yourself more, right? I think that's not trusting no one is not a healthy way to not only live your life, but it's not a healthy way to run a business. It's really important to make sure that you have a mindset where you are going to be able to trust someone at some point. Like you have to trust, you don't even have to trust the person, you have to trust that they're going to do the job that they're given. So if that helps you a little bit more, like you don't have to trust the person, but you'll trust that they're going to do the job or the work that they're given, or you're going to trust yourself to call them out if they're not doing the job. That's what I say. Simple as that. Yeah. So I think being a control freak is something that prevents people not only from like growing their business as far as like staff goes, but also growing their business as far as like innovation goes, not being able to bring in new minds or new talent into your business. In this day and age, with social media and just the internet and Google and everything, the World Wide Web, things are always being updated. Things are always changing. Someone's always coming up with a new idea. So you can't be closed minded to have innovation. Innovation, I think, has to be one of the driving forces for a business in order to grow your business, having new ideas. So if you're the business owner, I can 80% guarantee that you're not always going to be able to come up with new ideas because as the business owner or the CEO, you have so much on your mind. So you're going to have to be open-minded to allowing new people to bring in new ideas to your business, and you approve the ideas. I mean, hell, I would love to save some headspace with people coming up with new ideas for my business, and I just make the decisions. I mean, ultimately that's the real CEO, right? So it holds you back from also innovation, but it also is a big part of letting your ego take the course. And if your ego is driving your business, it's not going to allow your business to grow. It tends to keep you very small minded, very close minded, very my way, and that's the only way. And I'm sure you guys have heard it. Like, that doesn't work. We've been doing, when someone's in a business and a big corporation, whatever it is, I would say a big corporation, because honestly, having a business for myself, I'm not trying to stay micro, small. Like, I'm trying to go enterprise. I'm trying to possibly become corporate America if possible, it's not, I don't want to stay small. And I'm sure you guys have heard it, even if as an employee or as an employer, you've probably have heard, like, when people say, like, this is the way we've been doing it forever, this is the way we've been doing it, but still complain about being in the same place. It's nothing's going to change if nothing changes, and we all know that's a red flag when someone's like, well, we've been doing it this for over 20 years. And then they're complaining 2 hours later that their business hasn't scaled or grown. So it's like, maybe because you've been doing it this way for 20 years, and that's their ego holding them back from growth. So, being a control freak is something that's very common, especially because you're a boss, right? You're a boss, you're the leader, you make the decisions. So I think it's very easy as a business owner and as a CEO and as an entrepreneur. And a big reason why you're probably working for yourself is because you don't want to be told by other people what to do. So control freak is, I think, a very common personality. It's a very common thing that CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business owners do. They have that wanting to control what's happening in their business. In a big way, it makes sense. And again, I've been there, so I know it takes one to know one, and it makes sense, and it is scary. I've said this before in other videos that when you're building something from scratch or you're building something of your own, it's kind of hard not to take things personal. So you want to, like, protect it, but that protection isn't coming off as protection. It's coming off more as, like, controlling. And they're very similar, but there's a fine line. Like, protection is overseeing what someone's doing in that position and making sure, they have all the tools and everything they need in order to make your business successful. But controlling is like, nope, that's not going to work, shutting people's ideas down, and it's just holding you back from scaling your business. So I hope this video gives you some aha moments and opens up your mind a little bit, and maybe makes you think, like, am I a control freak? Because I don't think I knew I was a control freak until I knew I was a control freak. I was probably a control freak, like, way longer, like probably my whole life, until I actually realized, like, this is what's holding you back. Like, this is going to hold you back. It's not going to help you grow. It's not going to help you grow. It's your ego screaming and kicking and shouting, my way or the highway, So I really had to have, like, an aha moment. I can't specifically pinpoint when it was that I learned this. I think mainly just reflecting on, like, the things that I've done in my businesses in the past, and reflecting, I started realizing, like, oh, that person had a good idea, or things had came up later, and I was like, someone has brought this up to me in the past, but I shut them down. And, that's your ego holding you back from innovation, from new things. You're the control freak in you. So, I really hope this video helps you guys identify if you are, not in a bad way. Again, it takes one to know one. I was one, but it's definitely something that can hold you back from growing your business. So maybe this video was meant for you to watch. All right, guys, so I appreciate your time. That concludes my video. I know this isn't like a regular video where I do the 3 steps to prevent, but it's a topic that I wanted to bring up. And I think because it's a topic that really hits me in the gut, that I just went straight through it. But I would love to elaborate on any of my videos. I can go on about business for days. I love talking about business. So ask me questions below. I'd be more than happy to elaborate, or even talk about a topic that maybe you've been thinking about in your business. I would be more than happy to create a video focused on that. Thank you guys again for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.